What up, trash? Welcome to another episode of Bunny and the Beast. Yes, it is I, meaty mess of legend, the Beast, and I am joined by the Queen Mother of Mess, Bunny Galore.
Oh, hello, darling. How are you? I love them. I like Matriarch and I like Queen Mother. I think I am the Queen Mother because she was the one that was always in the back of the carriages waving drunk.
Literally been like, who's that one? Oh, okay. Yes.
Who's that one? Rude.
I'm just seeing ourselves on our screen. Sorry, listeners.
God.
We do it on YouTube, so if you want to see it. I'm like, I look naked.
Yes. What did Owen say in that text earlier? You are allowed to wear tops and bottoms.
And then you replied going,
Top?
there's no top here.
There's no top there. This is where some impressionable younger gentleman will be pausing the video and maybe writing a sonnet
and searching for my OnlyFans. Yeah. That doesn't exist. That sounds like it does. It actually doesn't.
It
really doesn't exist, and it never will exist. I don't think.
It would be just.
I don't think. No, it definitely won't.
If you did one, it would just be us watching episodes of Buffy the Vampire Slayer. That's all it would be.
Yeah, and I probably just have no top, and you'd be tying me down, and be like feeding me.
Don't give them ideas; they'll write in.
It'll be like, what's the Stephen King? Kathy Bates.
Oh, Misery.
Who, Paul? I'm your number one fan.
I am not your number one fan, believe me.
I don't have a fan.
I just borrow other people's. It's fine. Even in the cold weather, you were wearing this when I would meet you for lunch.
I was actually wearing shorter shorts in this entire time, like, because when I do coach classes and I'm there like, come on, Brenda, sit on it instead of a squat. Is some of the stuff I say.
Oh, Brenda, sit on it. The reels on Instagram that you do of your training sessions are hilarious. I don't think I could laugh and I'd fall off a bike or I'd fall off a bouncy baldy thingy. What are you using in these classes? Everything. Is it one of those ones?
It's just weight. It's just dumbbells and
just
weights.
Dumbbells. Okay, it's not a. I think because I know a lot of people that do the bike things.
Yeah. So listeners, if you are fitness fanatics, I'm a coach and we do online classes and they're all streamed at a place. This is actually a very gay friendly title. Raw classes. Raw like a lion, not raw
awesome.
What you're thinking of, you filthy little skanks. Anyway,
moving very swiftly on.
Nan, how are you?
Oh, thanks for coming and visit me in the council flat. Thanks.
Well, it's court ordered.
Oh, someone's woken up. I can tell. These 3 brain cells have been rattling around for the last hour.
My brain's like Yahtzee.
Yes, it is. Oh my goodness, it's the only explanation sometimes. Honestly, I should have just got a puppy. It would have been easier. No.
And less mess.
Yeah.
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 I can't lie. What's new with you? Oh, my voice just broke. So, puberty still happens at 29 years old, apparently.
Finally. Yeah. So when are you turning 30? I always like to ask my friends who are just leaving their 20s.
I turned 30 on the 29th of December.
Oh.
It's an awful birthday.
It is.
It's shit.
Yes, it is a bit. My mother's is on the 31st of December, so New Year's Eve, weirdly. So it's always that weird... It's such a nightmare because I'm always away doing things like pantomimes and stuff. So you're really concentrating on Christmas and then you're going, right, okay, Mum's birthday's coming up, must not forget. And then everybody starts talking about New Year's Eve and the amount of times it's got really dangerously close to like forgetting.
Yeah. Everyone forgets my birthday. And sometimes people like wish me happy birthday on the 27th and the 28th and the 29th and the 30th just to be safe.
Be safe, yeah. So
I'm like,
29th of December. Right, okay, I'm going to put that on my phone.
Yeah, so last year I turned 29 on the 29th.
Right, wow. So, well, at least you know a couple of days later you can have even if you can't.
I've never celebrated my birthday properly because majority of my friends are performers and they're away doing.
You're always away, yeah.
And we're actually going to probably talk about this anyway later on today, but like I have a very limited friendship circle, and that limited friendship circle is not always in the north. Because that's where I always spend the holidays. That's where my parents live.
Remind me where home is?
I say Leeds.
Which I hate Leeds.
It actually means Bradford.
Oh.
which
I don't mind Bradford.
you don't like Leeds, but you like Bradford.
No, it's a running joke.
You okay?
I know an ex moved to Leeds, and that's why we broke up, because he moved to Leeds because it was.
Yeah. So I always spend the holidays there, and it's like the holidays. Where am I? That sounds American.
Oh, hello.
I'm going for the holidays.
Just a working girl back from the big smoke, gonna fall in love, and
I'm there like
another Hallmark movie. Me. I didn't realise you were from Bradford, because you don't. The accent's not that strong.
No. I was born in Surrey, but then we moved up when I was 2 years old. But my dad's from.
Oh, okay. You weren't speaking at 2 years old then.
Yeah, I know.
Barely speaking now.
Genius, but actually brand. No. No, my dad's from London, but he grew up in like Warwick. So, and my mum's from Suffolk.
Right. Okay.
My mum did grow up in Hong Kong as a child, actually, but they speak very well, and my older sister still speaks very well. But so they'd call it a castle and a path and a glass. But I call it a glass, a path, and a castle.
That's incorrect, but sure.
Yes. But no, that's right. And when I was growing up, my northern friends like, "Oh, you're such a poshie." Yeah. But now come to a London friends like, "Oh, you're so northern." When I was last home,
don't think you're that northern.
I'm not drunk enough for it to go real Dear Jabala. Oh, I like olives. You're right. And when I last went home, I went with my best friend Hannah. She literally got into her car and she was like, "You're right." And I went, "You're right." And it's like, "Here, James, you've gone dead northern. Is it because of me?" And it's like, "Yeah, because of you. It's because of you." And then it takes, when I come back to London, it's been like a week to 2 weeks to retrain my voice out.
Yeah, back out again. It's funny, isn't it?
But yeah.
I'm such a magpie. I pick up on other people's accents. Well, actually, I'm half.
Steal their jewellery.
And steal their jewellery. Yes. Actually, it's steal their husbands. If you get the will, that's fine. And then you murder them. Yeah, that's for another episode. So no, I'm half northern. My father comes from Halifax.
Halifax.
And
that's where Eureka is.
Eureka
was like a kids interactive learning centre that was like the really cool place to go.
It's an 80s kids TV show as well, Eureka.
Oh, is
it? Where Sylvester McCoy comes from, the Seventh Doctor from Doctor Who. That he and Madeline Smith is in it. She's like a comedic movie actress and TV actress, and is probably being inspired by that show because it was quite an interactive kind of early technology, as in kind of a show. Anyway, so yeah, from Halifax, but my mother's from the South Coast. I think after the war he'd moved to, I don't know how he got down there. War? The Boer War. No, the Second World War.
Okay.
I think he must have moved down there then, I think, because of the war, because they misplaced a lot of people. I had older parents. Obviously I'm older than you, but I've had older parents.
Gasp.
He was my age when he had me, so still a chance I can have a child, apart from obviously the beast, which is
no, don't do it. Don't do it. Getting the tube here, I got onto every tube I had was riddled with school children.
Oh yes,
I was like, help,
same.
Help! It was riddled with.
Why today? I don't understand what they're doing.
I overheard them like, "Oh, we're off to the Barbican." I was like, "Oh, yeah, you're gonna lose some. Please lose some children because I'm an adult and I get lost in that building." But actually, I get lost even on the street. So
I was going to say this room is quite small, and he gets lost in here. Emotionally, physically, everything really. No, I love. It's funny, isn't it? I love good kids. I'm not a great fan of like en masse, like hideous children.
I prefer dogs.
Yeah, I think only lately, actually, funny you're talking about kids. I've only lately got into this because Sally's two boys, Vic and Louis, Bronya's little boy, Freddie. I've got a lot of suddenly people
Freddie,
with
my love.
Freddie, I love that song. I have a lot of kids now in my life, and they're just amazing. But it's only happened in the last 8-9 years, I guess.
Yeah.
So I've become I'm a very good crazy uncle as well. Obviously, I'm the best crazy uncle because I'm the idiot that will play hide and seek, and I'll let's go make robots. I'm a big kid, so
I'm glad you said uncle because
to a real
no. This is not a read on age or calling you grandmother. This actually is.
I see.
For once, I'm actually being genuine. Gas. Shock.
What's that feeling like?
Odd. Don't like it. I despise the word gonkle.
Oh yeah.
I hate it.
Yeah, I don't like that.
And I've gone I hate it. What have I done? You made me to go real northern. I hate the
word. That's a lot sexier look on you as well. You should do that more That's a good brand for you. I'm be serious. Yeah, no,
What, play up on the Northern?
Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah, definitely.
Should I do the entire podcast like this?
No, not now, but
No, not
just
now.
in general.
Work on the accent. You're going a bit Indian at times. But I hate the word gunkle because I don't think you would say, well, my brother's gay, so...
Hold on a minute. Your brother's gay?
Yeah.
Suddenly, the Drusilla Kendra fight scene...
Or from last week's episode.
Suddenly makes more sense from last week. Because I was a bit like... I assumed it was a straight brother, so I was a bit like, why would you want to be why would you want to be Drusilla? Clang. Suddenly makes so much more sense. Yeah, sorry.
So if my sisters did ever have kids, they would be amazing mothers.
Sure.
But I'm like, please don't call me uncle. But if we had a straight sibling, like we were like a straight brother, I'd be like, you wouldn't call them a sunkle. Or you wouldn't be like, oh, it's my lesbian auntie, my lanty, or my santy. Like you wouldn't you wouldn't put your sexuality at the top of them as well.
I don't know where it came from as well. I've only heard it in the last couple of years. It's that cutesy kind of internet speak, isn't it? That just drives me insane a lot of the time.
But then people are like, oh, you're going to be a gunkle. I'm like, I hate the word.
No. It's just that cutesiness of it I don't like. Let alone picture holding people, let alone that. But and I suppose obviously I get called Uncle Martin with the kids, but I'm not actually part of the family. But I think that shows it takes a village, doesn't it, to raise kids? God knows it takes a village to raise beast. But
it takes a whole metropolitan city. And even then, that's not enough.
Literally, when we finish,
the law enforcement is not great. The law enforcement sucks.
I have to drop him off with somebody else as a carer after this to make sure he gets home okay.
You have to give me reins to make sure I don't go running away.
I was going to say a lead, but I actually. Where's this going?
As a child,
very red then.
As a child, when we went to Disneyland, and I was a child that ran away. Like I was an escape artist.
Shocker.
One time I left the house, and one time a fireman brought me home, and actually had to go at my mum for being a bad mother. Because I ran away from the house. Actually got.
Sorry, I'm laughing a bit too much. Thinking, I suppose the other night when a fireman brought you home. Do you find firemen say? By the way, I think that's a myth in the UK. If you're listening, any fireman, I'm sorry, but you know, I've never seen a hot fireman in the UK.
It's all American sexualization on men in uniform.
Yeah.
And
I don't get the uniform thing. I never have.
Oh, I get it. I get it.
I like individuality more than I do suppression, I think, probably. You know, I know it's a masculine thing, but I don't find that exciting.
But yeah, one time, because I used to run away all the time, my parents actually sat down one evening and said, you know what? If anything happens to James, we're not going to blame ourselves.
Oh my gosh.
Because actually, he's brought it upon himself. If he died as a child, yes.
Parents had that conversation.
Oh, but then the rains. Yeah, we went to Disneyland. And my parents could not trust me to not stay by their side. So they literally put me in reins so they could control me.
And you were 26 at the time?
27 and a half.
How old were you at the time?
Oh, I would have been 2 or 3. I'd have been very young.
Can you remember that? Or was it just from photographs?
More photographs. I remember having the card. The card I remember was a Pocahontas card because I loved Pocahontas at the time. And I remember the first day and the world going black. Like it's almost like Pan's Labyrinth.
Oh yes,
but Mickey Mouse covered my eyes, and I think I locked this away. Thank you, therapy. No, my parents say that Mickey Mouse made me literally cry in hysterics because he literally covered my eyes, and
yes, I think that would have scared me as well.
Yeah,
it's. I mean, I still remember having memories like that where you are a bit traumatized by anyone in costume. Anyway, but it is one of those things. Mickey Mouse covering your eyes is something we're not going to run into every day, so that's quite unusual.
That actually, at the time, 95, 96, that is a grown-ass adult putting their hands on a child.
Yes. Yes, they probably don't do that now, do they?
I doubt it. I highly doubt it. Well, if they do, they shouldn't.
No, that's very true. So moving on to
that went a dark note.
yes, yeah. Segueing out of that into we were going to talk about inner circles today, weren't we?
Yes, finding inner circles, your tribe, not your grinder tribe, but your friendship circle.
Yeah. I do love finding your tribe. If a phrase could sum up what as gay men or gay women, however you identify with particularly, is a good example of what to do, finding your tribe is the right phrase, because whether you bond over Buffy the Vampire Slayer or Doctor Who or playing sports or
sports,
I just threw that in there just as for the lesbians
inclusion.
Yeah, that's for the lesbians, or whatever, or pets or whatever it is. It's and I think I found various tribes like that. Before the phrases even existed. I remember. From school, I did amateur dramatics before going to drama school.
Yeah,
I didn't particularly. I did like musical theatre, but I didn't want to be in musical theatre till I did that, and I got a bit distracted by that for most of the 90s because I actually wanted to kind of be funny and be on. And I was more drawn to TV, I guess, than theatre at that point. But suddenly, I discovered musical theatre, but I've now realised I found the tribe of that musical theatre world, and I'm still in it in many respects, but. That theatre became my tribe, and then other things have come along since, obviously. Yeah. But in a broad term, what happened with you? Do you think theatre and things come to your rescue?
Yes. So, like, I have I grew up in middle of Yorkshire, like countryside and everything, and all that stuff, and I was very lucky and very grateful and very privileged that I was able to go to a private school, but we only my dad was headmaster, and
we will unpack this. I went to private school as well, but not that. We were a very different experience. My father was the headmaster.
Very different. Demon headmaster. No, we actually never really spoke.
I know. Yeah.
Dad, can you hear me? Yes. So. I remember, we're going to probably get a bit deep now. So I remember being in a group of friends, all boys, in year 8. And since then, I've never been in a group of friends with boys. So I just remember all that year being like 30, what would you be? You would be 12, turning 13, or 13, turning 14, something like that. And this group of boys that I was allegedly friends with, I just remember being hounded mercilessly every single day about being gay.
Right.
I don't know what that was.
Was it an all-boys school?
No, it wasn't. No, it wasn't. It was mixed. Okay. And the only word for it is bullying. It's verbal bullying. At that time, they don't see it as bullying. And I think even to this day, they would never see that as bullying. But it's because that's their interpretation of events. It's my interpretation.
Do you speak to
any
of them?
No. Don't speak to any of them. But there came a point where I was like, it was like the first time I was in like a good, like my friends group, where it's like the 6 of you do everything together.
Yes,
and this and the other. I was like, oh, this happened. But then there was like one time when I just had enough of it, and I started to
push back.
Well, not push back, because I didn't have the confidence to do that. Literally any shred of confidence I had was destroyed. Destroyed. And then that came a point where they made it sounds so like petty in high school, but they made a petition to kick me out the group. And then
I'm sorry, what now?
Yeah, like some of them were like, oh, should we have a petition and kick James out the group? Right? And like,
what?
Jesus Christ.
That was the...
And from that,
I don't think I've ever been quite so shocked by something before.
Kids are horrible.
In this subject matter.
And as a 29-year-old, I can look back on this now with reflection and a bit more intelligence. Not much, but a bit more intelligence. That the ones that were the biggest perpetrators of the bullying of being gay is that they saw something similar in themselves. They saw something in themselves that they also saw in me, but to detract from themselves, they put it all on me. So put the target on my back.
Yeah.
And as a 29-year-old, I can see that and go, you did a really next Tuesday thing.
Have you discovered what their journey has been since school?
Have
you seen them on Grindr? Is probably the question.
I've not seen them on Grindr.
Is the It's the comedic.
I've not seen them on Grindr. I do know through friends of friends that their journey has become one of queerness,
Right.
to an extent.
To an extent.
To an extent. So
Wowzers,
I'm like, but I think that moment absolutely traumatized me.
Yeah.
To have a big group of friends.
Yeah.
And so like my sister has a big group of friends, my brother had a big group of friends, and then I was like adolescence and like didn't have anybody. So I then started making friends with girls, and I was like, oh. And then that's when I found my first little tribe.
Right.
Was my best friend Hannah and my best friend Jess. Shout out to Hannah and Jess. And we like did A-level drama together, and that's where us three bonded and became absolutely inseparable.
Do you think it was the personalities you're drawn to, or because you had something in common with the drama, perhaps?
The drama is a really big thing. It is a really big thing because it's actually at school. It was like the time when I felt seen. It's the time I felt at home. It's the time I felt secure in myself. Amongst this big rugby school, a school where your dad was the headmaster and you had certain expectations to follow and to live by.
Every time you say the headmaster thing, it's like I keep forgetting. So you've just described quite a traumatic experience with like so-called friends at school, but on top of that, you can't really tell your mum and dad about it because they work at the. Oh my god!
Yeah, I did
beast.
Yeah, But yeah, so found that tribe.
I need to have a lie down now.
Yes. So from that, I found it really hard to open myself up to a big group of friends. So I call myself a social butterfly. Being like, I have a few friends here, I have a few friends there, and I can flitter between. But I'm.
Do you feel like? Here's a question for you. Do you feel like you don't want to commit now to a friendship circle because of that experience? Oh, look at us getting deep of a weekday.
Oh.
Do you know what I mean? Do you feel like you've pushed people away because you don't want to be rejected again?
Probably. There's probably a big fear of rejection in that, and I'm slowly coming out with that, and I found really special people in my life that are like really big pillars, and then from that they introduced me to other circles like the GW circle. I've been introduced to recently, and I'm like, oh, I'm finding tribes, I'm finding this, and I was like, there came a point when I was in my last relationship with Lucifer. Where I felt so kind of segregated, didn't really have any friends. He was just my world and his friends were my world. That then I was like, okay, I like video games. I'm going to reach out to this person that I know goes to the London Gamers, which is a gay gaming group, and make friends that way. So I was like, now I've got that tribe, and now I've got this. And it's like, I was speaking about this with my friend Jasmine, like, I don't have that friends group still. But I have these little nuggets of love and support and friendship that I am so thankful for and so grateful to have.
But that is a friendship group.
Yes.
That is, it's just, they don't actually have to know. It just so happens my inner circle, I have like a very, very tight inner circle, insert joke there. But
that's not what I heard about you.
No, it is. Babe, I'm a top. I'm not that loose. I'd be a lot more popular if I was. Anyway, that's another story. No, I have a very, very tight inner circle, but I have a huge, huge outer circle of friends of like 4,000 because of the theatre world, and TV world. You got like 4,000 people that I know I've worked with. Thank goodness for social media because that's how you keep in contact with them.
Social media is really helpful for that. It's so helpful.
Yeah, but the inner circle is. But as it happens at this time of my life, in the last 8 years or so, they all do know each other and we are part of a family, and it's an extended family, and we really felt that during the pandemic was that we couldn't see our friends really. I have this photograph on my fridge of all these people, all the important people in my life, and I think it must have gone up at that point. Probably lockdown 3, I think, and one of it is the we didn't do Zoom meeting. I didn't do any Zooms apart from with ITV, I think, during the pandemic. But the only one I did was with this. We did one where we were trying to eat, and it doesn't work because we can't really talk. So we're just like we're kind of eating on camera, but I have a screen grab of that. And that's everybody kind of in that group. And it's like, gosh, isn't that crazy? But also I quite like the fact they're all in But
Yeah.
I like that photograph more than I do like the big group shots when we're on
Yeah.
night out, weirdly, because I think it's everyone's faces. But and it probably will change again, and it will probably we'll move on again. Relationships will change. We'll probably work some out other places.
It's always evolving and always changing. And I was like saying to my friend Jess, she was like, the Friends show, this and the other, kind of is not a realistic interpretation of people's friendship groups, because actually imagine if you did have that and then you started dating that person and that person, like then you have to see them all the time and all that
like
stuff.
the gays do.
Like the gays do.
So
Like
you start crossing that.
they do. I think they do say like gays who are friends are gays who never actually made it into a relationship.
Exactly. Well, that's true. But I think we probably are. I think any if you have gay best friends, I have a lot of gay. I never used to have many. I had straight boyfriends, and I just had more girl. And I hate that term fag hag, but all my girly friends are goddesses. They're burlesque artists, they're comedians, they're powerful women. I'm very drawn to powerful women, obviously, and then I play one as well on TV. But gay best friends only kind of come into my life in the last 10 years as much, and it is a relationship, but it's not a sexualized relationship. It's so I am the king of the bromances. I love that. I love to be in a bromance, as in when you really love somebody but you're not in love with them, and you're not sleeping with them. It's not sexualized in that way. It can be tactile, but it's not physical enough, because that goes. Friends are for a very long time. Lovers are not.
Me coming to terms, when I came to terms myself being gay when I was 18, 19, and really understanding what that meant, being in theatre really helped that, because it was, like I said, my older brother's gay as well. I don't know about his journey. I can't speak about his journey. I think I can say for fact that I had an easier ride of it because I was surrounded by it. I was surrounded by gay people. I was surrounded by theatre. I was surrounded by theatricality and the flamboyancy. I was surrounded by the gay scene. I had that. I can't speak on his behalf because I actually don't know. I actually don't know. But yeah, it's like coming to terms of nearly turning 30 and probably like you kind of just give less of a shit. I think it just changed. I think it also as performers, when you go for that first casting bracket change, when you become young dad, which is I was called young dad at 20.
Yeah, I bet you were. Yeah,
actually, before this, when I bought a couple of drinks, and
you got asked for age, didn't you?
Well, I didn't get asked for age. She just went to the screen and literally so aggressively tapped there, visibly over 25. I was like, hey up, love, you could be a bit kinder.
At least pause and ask. I know the amount of times I'm turning up at casinos late at night with boy dancers and they always get carded and I'm like, you could just ask me to be polite. They just go, no, that is fine. You'll come inside. It's like,
But I think my main tip of finding your tribe or finding people that are special to you is finding people who support you, people who big you up, people who respect your values. I don't think you need to share the same values as your friends or even your partners, but you need to respect them and appreciate that. And someone who makes you laugh, someone who makes you smile is going to be a better friend than, oh, they're popular. Because, okay, the popular people are all pretty and they're all 6'2". Is 6'2" going to care for you when you're like in the dumps and need a friend?
No.
Probably not. No. But the friend who's the funny one or this and the other, I think it's just reaching out to people, and
that's definitely my brand.
Like I
am the funny one.
Like
you're the 6'2" one. I'm the funny one.
I wish I was 6'2", 6'1". Story of my life, just a 1 inch less. But finding out your interests and Googling spaces, like I didn't know about the London Gamers properly.
That sounds great, by the way.
It's brilliant. Like everyone meets up every month and they play video games. What's your top tip of finding your tribe? Top tip for finding your tribe.
It's the same sort of thing. It's finding the same interests. Steering away from any toxic people is probably more like don't do this rather than go towards it. So I would follow those people that lift you up. Don't follow the people that will put you down. Find something that makes you laugh together, and I think you're on a fairly even keel. And I know it's a very broad statement, and it's quite a simplistic way of putting it. but it's surprising how people do that wrong. It literally, people will follow other people because they want to look good or they want to, be with cool people. That's not what it is.
I kind of think as well, we have friendships or worlds where everyone does this thing called, oh, I love her, but, oh, I love her, but, oh, she's such a messy hoe. And it's like the friends that can, I think the real friends would, one, say this to your face and say it with love and care and support. So finding people that respect you and respect your boundaries.
Totally.
Which also I think goes from friendship into relationship. But to round off,
to round
off the episode, Bunny.
Yes, darling.
I'm very pleased you're within my tribe now. I'm very glad we've met.
Yeah. It's like a quagmire. I can't escape. It's like sinking sands. It's
one of the greatest thing Mother Malin ever did.
Yeah, sorry.
Or actually her greatest mistake.
Yes. Exactly.
We talk about her every episode. Bloody hell. We need new friends. I'm joking. We love you. We love you. We love your dog more. If you were an animate object in the Beast Castle today, what would you be and why?
I would definitely be today the clock that is ticking slowly away in the corner and chiming, because that means I'm right at least twice a day because it's broken clock.
Producer, what would you be?
I'd be a piece of gum trying to be flexible.
Trying to be flexible.
Good answer, Sang. That's
love
amazing.
that. Yeah. And I would be a sofa because I'm so great to sit on. Hey! So, any questions, queries, concerns, massive concerns or complaints, you can drop them to our Instagram at bunnythebeast69 or our email address, bunnythebeast69@gmail.com. bunnythebeast69@gmail.com. Where am I from?
I don't know.
.com. Oh, the boys aren't spacing that at all.
Yeah. I think that's Australian.
And from me, Messy Meaty Beast, please stay trashy.
And for Bunny Galore, the queen of the cult movies, we will see you next week.